Alright guys, so more just random trying things in Papa Pepperland today. We're going to get our second coop over there, our second pen, set up for the chickens, and we're going to get them down here. One thing we're going to make sure to do is to provide them with some good, a good roost first, and some good nesting boxes, and then additionally a little kind of free access of a source of calcium, which we'll both be using crushed eggshells, which they prefer, and then also just the oyster shells, which are common. So for their nesting boxes, I'm kind of sick of building things from wood. Kind of done a couple prototypes, but we were considering using milk crates because that's popular. You can also use 5-gallon buckets, and of course we've got a ton of those. I'll get my act together and get all this cleaned up eventually. But with the milk crates, a lot of those are actually property of certain companies, and they wind up all sorts of places that are not at the companies. Didn't want to be using that, so I went to Menards and just got a couple of these, which are actually like for files. They kind of use them just to put files in and stuff, but they were about $3.50 a piece at Menards. So we're going to be using those. I got an idea of just to mount 3 of them on a board and then run a little lip in the front. We'll fill them with some straw and then we'll install them, and it's just kind of a guess of what could work. We'll test it out, give it a run for a while. If it works, it works. If not, we've learned some things along the way, and we'll move forward from there. So this is just a simple experimentation, and like I said, I don't like to Google everything right away. I like to have myself a go, use the old thinker a little bit, and see if we can't use it so we don't lose it. All right, here we go. Closely at this point, you're going to see I doubled it up so far. I think I might put a couple more on the side. We're going to run usually, I think, about a dozen hens or so. Seems to be a good quantity for us, maybe a little more in case we lose some. But they're not all going to need their own nesting box, and I'm actually going to make these so that they can close up at night too. I do see that cross barrier, this support strut here, is probably going to be something that they're going to want to roost on, which would mean pooping on top of these. So I'm going to add a ledge here, just to make it kind of a flat ledge, so we can use it as a small shelf if we want below the window there. And I'm going to make these that they close up at night, and we'll install a roosting system over here where pretty much we've got a number of different levels they can roost at an angle, so nobody's pooping on anyone. So I'm going to add some hay to this, and then I'm going to get working on the next thing just to kind of close them up for the night. So at this point there may be 2 questions that you may be wondering. You may not. I'm not here to make accusations, but I'll say one is you may have seen people use like milk crates and actually cut a side or a notch out of one of the sides, and you may wonder, why did I not do that? One thing is that I do not know if this is going to work. I'm not sure if this is the way that I'm going to like it, so I would like to keep these filing crates whole and intact. At this point they've each just got 2 screw holes in them, where I applied one there and there to kind of hold the front board on. But otherwise, they don't even have any damage to them at all. The second thing is you may wonder why I want to close these up at night. For me, nighttime is not when chickens are laying, it's when they're sleeping. But they sometimes poop in their sleep. So if the chicken's just kind of camping out, sitting there, one thing that it may be doing is pooping on the eggs. We want nice clean eggs. If you don't wash them, they last a lot longer. You can wash them before you use them, but if you just kind of leave an egg sitting there, it'll last a really long time if you don't wash it. However, if it's covered in fecal matter, covered in chicken manure, you're going to want to wash it. So if we can kind of have this be somewhere where they lay, and then, exit and they roost elsewhere, so that if they poop in their sleep, they're not pooping on the eggs, that's going to be much better for us. So that's what we're looking at there. And if any do grow broody, I'll be able to, choose to leave them in the one that they're in, let them sit on their eggs, let them hatch out some chicks, and that type of thing. And if they're sitting in there anyway, and they get closed up for the night, if they're broody, they're not going to care. So that's where we're at right now. I've got these 6 going, and we'll see where we go from here. Well, if you look behind me, I can make that flipping lid like that, and it'll actually seal it up pretty tight. So I'm going to call that good. Daylight's fading. I got dinner to eat and stuff like that. This is going to be the basic idea. I'll show you them later how they work once the chickens are in here, and we'll see how the whole project comes together. Alright guys, Papa out. Be blessed. As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.